Well, they finally did it, folks. Game Freak has graced us with a massive, open-world Pokemon game filled with beauty and wonder that we've always wanted. The fields are luscious, the oceans are vast, the sky is filled with flying Pokemon, and the game's performance, second to none. If we're being honest here, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet makes Zelda's Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom look like an N64 game played on a half-charge Motorola Razr with a LimeWire virus. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's put our adventure hats on and explore Pokemon and really gaming's most beautiful map and beautiful region. On January 28th of 2022, Pokemon released the critically acclaimed Legends Arceus. And just a few weeks later, much to the surprise of just about everyone, Pokemon announced the release of two new mainline games, Scarlet and Violet. Now, you may be thinking, wow, that's a short turnaround for new games. And you would be correct, especially when you consider that all three of these games represented a major shift in how Pokemon approached their games, essentially expanding on the quote-unquote progress that the Wild area was in the Sword and Shield games. And Legends Arceus specifically adding new catching mechanics and an entirely new style of adventure. This crammed timeline and evolution in the franchise led to a lot of issues. And while not perfect, I'm gonna let Legends Arceus and its region, Hisui, off the hook on this one. Legends was a massive risk for Pokemon. It's a risk that paid off for them then, and I'm really hoping that it keeps paying off for them in the future. More Legends games, please God. And I would go as far as to say that in Scarlet and Violet, the gameplay specifically is just fine. I had fun playing these games just like I do every Pokemon game for the most part. But what truly got the short end of the stick for these games, that would be Scarlet and Violet's region, Paldea. Now, Scarlet and Violet, they're unfinished games, sure, but Paldea as a region, that's a whole different level of unfinished. You got N64 graphics, barren wastelands of environments. The NPCs are kind of just there. They don't really do anything or say anything of relevance. On top of all of that, you can't even break into other people's houses. Say what you want about Sword and Shield, but at least you could do that. This isn't like turning in your homework unfinished. This is like turning in your homework unfinished with a giant F you in the middle of the page. I mean, Legends has one town, but at least I can interact with everyone in that town and they'll give me a side quest or something. These are the kind of details that make these kind of worlds feel alive and immersive. Zelda's Breath of the Wild was released on March 3rd of 2017. The next Zelda installment, Tears of the Kingdom, was released on May 12th, 2023. This amount of time in between games allows a certain level of attention to detail that Pokemon hasn't applied to any games since, I guess, the very beginning, Red and Blue in 1996. In these Zelda games, Hyrule is beautiful, vibrant, and immersive. I'm not comparing these games or franchises based on how much I enjoy them. I enjoy them both for very different reasons. But can you imagine if one Pokemon game got the amount of time, care, and love that these Zelda games get? It would be incredible.